Yeah, you take a video. What do we got here, Raquel?
I got a box.
Yeah, you know what's in this box?
What?
It's a 3D printer. Alright, so let's open it up and see what it looks like. Holy cow. What it is, it's a 3D printer. So you take like a digital file on a computer, like say you wanted to make a My Little Pony. You didn't want to go buy a My Little Pony. You can actually take the file and print one, and it'll make one out of plastic. A little like action figure, anything you want really, as long as it's no bigger than this little gold bed that they got.
Yeah! But after that,
You can make anything. If a part breaks for your car, you can literally, if it's a plastic part, you can make it on this. I got it to make parts for my costumes and stuff, and also to make like little random bits here and there if I need them. Alright, so what I got here is my new 3D printer. I bought this 3D printer off eBay. I won the auction for about just under $200. The description said that it was for parts or not working, but that it was in like new condition. I can tell it has been used before. There was a little bit of residue, and still is, on the print bed right here. You can see there's just a little bit of schmegma on there, a little bit of purple filament. It had no filament cartridge. You can see this is just how I got it. All I've done pretty much is taken off the casings. I also have removed this tensioner and the stepper motor, and the reason why, I got error code 0031, and that is for the Y-axis. Now most of the time when you get that code, it's because the little sensor, the little home sensor I believe it's called, has gone bad. First thing I did was I checked the wiring in here. It was all good, so I do have to zip tie this back so that it doesn't catch right here. All that wiring was good. So basically I got to looking at it and I realized there's no belt on that gear from the stepper motor. So that's the reason it doesn't work, is because the belt is missing from the Y-axis stepper motor. Now I'm not one of those guys that is a 3D printer expert. This is my very first 3D printer, but I'm a smart guy and I knew right away I could fix whatever's wrong with this 3D printer. So I called XYZ Printing, and they basically said for parts and service I have to send an email. So I sent the email to salesus@xyzprinting.com, and I got to thinking, who knows when they're going to get back to me, or how much this belt is going to cost. Well, I was watching a YouTube video, and I noticed on the YouTube video they were actually, I forget his name, but he was changing this bearing here because those are known to crack. But I looked at the belt and I noticed that, I don't know if you can read it, it says Pioneer Rubber Belt and then a part number. Well, unfortunately on his video I could not get the part number, and all I could see was where it says Pioneer Rubber. So I thought, okay, here's a clue. There's the person who manufactures the belt. Now one thing about these little belts I've noticed on Amazon is that on the part number they actually have, like for example, this belt, which is the main Y-axis belt, is part number 720S2M. That 720 is how many teeth are on the belt. So what I'm thinking is, all I gotta do is find out how many teeth are on this belt, and I can find this belt even if it's not made by the same company. So what I'm gonna do, or what I already did, was I took a bit of wire right here, and I wrapped it around. I wrapped this bit of wire around there. I took the tensioner off for this reason. I wrapped it around and I measured where the wire meets. Like I tucked it, I went up, went over the main pulley up here, and then came down around, and then I kind of pinched it, and then I marked it so that I can get an idea of what the length of that belt is. So here's where I marked. Between these two black gaps is the length of the circumference of the belt that I need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a measuring tape and I'm going to measure between these gaps and find out what that measurement is in inches. So what good's that going to do me? Well, I'll explain. Because that belt is the same tooth pattern as this belt, All I got to do is take that same measurement on this belt and figure out, actually I don't even have to take that same measure, I can just see how many teeth per inch are on this belt, and then I can calculate that. With that information I'll be able to figure out how many teeth the belt that I need has. Once I know how many teeth it has, I can start looking for this belt in that many teeth and order it and then be good to go. So it's just a process of elimination. You got to do a little detective work. Sometimes you got to think outside the box. So that's what I'm doing. I also commented on the video that I saw on YouTube. I really wish I could remember his name. His name was Chuck, I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry, Chuck. If I think of the name of your channel, I will put it in the description below. But thank you so much for your insightful videos. Because of you, the first prints I'm going to do are going to be the replacement bearings for these, because I can see if yours cracked, mine's probably going to crack. So anyway, back to where we were at. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to use the measurement I took with this wire, measure it with measuring tape, measure these teeth, see how many teeth I come up with, and then I'm going to find that belt. I'm going to try to get it from the same manufacturer, but 3M also make these kind of belts too, but I'd rather use the same manufacturer, because if I use the same manufacturer, I know that the stretchiness is going to be the same and all that, like as far as how stretchy the belt is. So anyway, I'm going to measure that and we'll go from there. Okay, so the measurement that I got on this wire right here was approximately, and I say approximately because it's not exact, but it was approximately 5 3/8 of an inch. By the way, I have the cheater measuring tape and I love it. I don't care. I'm a carpenter, sort of, and I measure and cut a lot. I like the cheater tape. I like that it has the fractions written on it. Judge me if you will. I don't care. You're just jealous you don't have one. Now, 5 3/8. So basically what I got to do is measure this belt and see exactly how many teeth are in 5 3/8 inch, and also how many teeth are in 1 inch, so I can kind of calculate. So we need to figure out how many teeth are in the belt for 5 3/8. Well, let's figure out how many teeth are in 1 inch. Let's do that first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, maybe 14. But there's an old saying, it goes measure twice, cut once. So let me double check this. And you got to remember to compensate for the thickness of this metal catch here. Since I'm going against it this way, I need to add a little bit. So actually what I'm going to do is there's a half of one of these little ribs that's right on the edge there. So I'm not going to count it, and that'll tell me better exactly what my measurement is. So here we go. Alright, so to this one right here, I'm going to put my fingernail on it. You know what I'm going to do? If I can find it, which I cannot, I'm going to mark it with my Sharpie. Where did my Sharpie go? Does anyone else have this problem where you have a Sharpie in your hand 1 minute and then it completely disappears? And I'm just going to put a little mark on it because it's not going to hurt anything. Alright, so let me count how many teeth are from here to here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and this would be 13. So I'm going to say 12 because I want to compensate for the thickness of this metal bracket, which is about the same thickness as a tooth. So, excuse me. So now we know there's 12 teeth in an inch, and it was 5 3/8 inches. So let's figure out how many teeth this belt needs to be. I'm going to use a calculator. You guys are probably quicker and smarter than me and can probably figure it out a little bit better. So let's get on the old Windows XP powered PC because we're living in the past, and let's find out exactly how many okay, so 12 times 5 equals, that's 60. All right, so 3/8 of an inch would be let me get back to you on that. 5. Oh, wait. 5. So, 65 teeth, roughly. Now, I know that that could be inaccurate. It could be closer to 70. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what belts are available from the manufacturer. If they have a 65, if they have a 70, if they have a 68, whatever. They're not very much at all. I'm going to just buy a couple of them. And there is a tensioner, so if it's a little bit loose or it's a little bit longer or 1 or 2 teeth off, it'll still work because the stepper motor is actually adjustable too. So even if it's I have to make the holes, adjust the holes, I'll show you. As you can see here, see these are the holes for the stepper. And I've got 1 screw in it and it's kind of loose. Let me loosen it up here. This is T10. As you can see, it will slide up and down. Oh, now it's going to make a fool of me because I didn't loosen it enough. Hold on. Okay. So, as you see, it slides up and down. It's adjustable. And there's a few, you know, that's a difference of about 5 or 6 teeth in itself. Even if I have to elongate these a little bit, either way, it shouldn't be a problem. So, I'm going to order like a 65, a 68, a 70 tooth, and see what that does for me. I can probably use all of them, so that's what I'm going to do now. I'm actually on Amazon. I'm looking at a 96 tooth because it looked like it might fit, but now that I know that it's way too big, I'm not going to look at it. I'm going to see what else I can find. So I'm going to try to find this belt and kind of bypass using Da Vinci's customer service, and hopefully I'll be able to find what I'm looking for. So I'm going to stay on this and I'll let you guys know when I find out. I'd like to just get what I need and pop it on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what the width is on these other belts. So like this is the 720 S2M. I'm going to find out what the specs on this belt are as far as the teeth spacing and the width. Once I find that information out, I'll know to compare it to the belt that I'm looking for, since I know that it's 65, 68, 70 teeth, something like that. So I'm going to do that now. Alright, so I just found, so 720 S2M is the part number for the big belt for the Y-axis, but because that belt is like the same like teeth and everything, I googled it and I found this right here, this page, but it gives me this really cool detailed information. So from the center of one tooth to another, which is the pitch, which is the same as like a metal chain, if we look here for S2M, where was it? Oh, I just saw it like 2 seconds ago. Just looking at it. Oh, here we go. S2M, right here, it says the pitch is 2, which I'm assuming is 2 millimeter, if that makes sense. So it's 2 millimeters between the from tooth to tooth, from one tooth to the next tooth is 2 millimeters. So that's a good clue. So even though I measured and I used the wire, I can use this information to calculate how much belt I need, because I know it's 5 3/8. So all I got to do is go to Google and use the millimeter to inch conversion. So if I do 5 3/8 inch to millimeter, inches to millimeter conversion table. And usually Google will tell me. Let's see, let's do fraction to decimal. So 3/8 inch, where is it? 1/8, 1/4, 3/8 is 0.0375. So if I do 5.3750, let's go back to Google. 5.3750. Now I know there's going to be algebra teachers and math teachers that are like shaking their head right now, like, didn't you go to school? Well, yeah, but who remembers this stuff? There's different types of brain power out there. Are you okay over there? You're coughing like crazy.
I'm not sick.
No, she's not sick. She's just coughing her brains out. So anyway, to millimeter, 5-inch, 5.3750 inch, 2 millimeter. And let's see what we get. Gosh darn it, Google! I want to punch Google in the face. All right, so I figured out that 5.375, which is 5 3/8 inches, is 136.525 millimeters. So we're going to say 136 millimeters. That sounds about right. So let me go back over to this page here, and let's see if this gives us a better idea. So let's look at one of these belts here. Let's look. They don't have the 720, but they have the 710, which is 710 millimeters. So we know that the part number, the first number, is not actually the number of teeth, it's the number of millimeters. Now in teeth, if we look in the same one here, 710 is 355 teeth, right? Let's see, number of teeth 355 versus 710. Now let's divide those two and find out what we get, and this will kind of help further investigate what size belt we need. I am stupid because it is literally double the number. If you take 355 and double it, you get 710. So, and that makes sense because the pitch, which is the length between this tooth and this tooth, is 2 millimeters. Yeah, I should have seen that right away, but that one slipped right past me. So anyway, we need what was it? Go back to my. We need 136 millimeters approximately. So that would be how many teeth? 130. What's half of 136? Okay, it is 68. Wow, 68. Isn't that what I said before? I said 65, 68. So yeah. So now we know for sure we need a 68 tooth. Psh, I'm good. So the measurement I did with the wire was pretty close because I came up with 65, but I said that I was going to look for something like 65, 68, 70. 68 right in the middle, right where I need to be. So, yeah, we figured it out. Me and you. Give yourselves a little round of applause for helping me out there. So now, we're going to look for a 68 tooth belt. Oh, but one thing we didn't find out yet, and it's kind of annoying because it was really the whole point of me Googling this part number, which is for the big belt, is the actual width of the belt. So let me look on here and see if I can find that out, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so it clearly says, if you look here on this page, belt nominal width, and by the way, I'm going to put a link to this page in my description box, so look down there for this link. But anyway, if we look here, 40, 60, and 100, we were looking at the 710, which is pretty close. So I'm guessing that 10 millimeters wide is what we need. And the one I was looking at earlier, this one right here, this is 20 millimeters wide, and it does look too wide for what I need. If we look at the width of this belt here in comparison, now try to use the teeth in comparison. This is a close-up picture, and let's go look at this belt here. Yeah, you can definitely see that that belt is about twice the thickness. So I think it's safe to say we need a 10 millimeter wide belt. So 10 millimeter wide, 68 tooth. We figured that much out. So now we know. Let me find one and then I'll get back to the video. Alright, so I was having some bad luck. I was trying to search for the, like all the, 2 millimeter pitch, 136 millimeter length, 10 millimeters wide, and I couldn't find anything. So I ended up going right back to where I started at this PDF file that I showed you. Like I said, I'm going to put a link in the description below, and I thought, well, why don't I look here? The number of teeth, if you look, this one here is a 67 tooth, the 134 S2M. 67 teeth, 134 millimeters. Like I said, I got some room to play with because it's adjustable, and I think this might actually be the stock belt. So I typed it in, it came up on eBay, $9.17, free shipping. However, it says that it's a 6 millimeter wide. So now I'm wondering if that's not what the width is, if I wasn't wrong after all. So what I'm going to do is, because I do not know how to do millimeters to inch conversion, I'm sorry, I just don't know how to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my handy dandy, always good for something, tape measure. And I'm going to see what the width is. So it's between an 1/8 and a 1/4. That one doesn't have a marking on it, of course. So I have to look up what fraction that is, what comes between an 1/8 and a 1/4. I want to say 5/16. So I don't know. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Whatever the fraction is between 1/8 and 1/4, I have to look it up now because I'm pretty sure it's 5/16. But let me check. 3/16. I think I said 5/16. It's 3/16. Let's see. 3/16. 3/16 is 4.75. It's like 5 millimeter. So I was actually wrong. I was thinking it was 10 millimeter, and it's actually 5 millimeter. This is 6 millimeters. I'm pretty sure that this is the belt that I need. It's a 67 tooth. That's the S2M 134. I need to double check that the pitch is correct. I'm pretty sure it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to view the details and find out, make sure it's got a 2 millimeter pitch. Let's see. Pitch 2 millimeter. Alright, oops. I hate when the pages jump. If anyone else hates that, when you're on a page and you go to click something or you go to highlight something and the page jumps because some ad loads, put a comment in the thing and say, I hate that, because I hate that. So, alright, here we go. We found this belt. It is a timing belt. Number of teeth, 67, 2 millimeter pitch. The belt width is just under a 1/4 inch, which is a little bit thicker. The belt girth, I don't know that matters. But yeah, so this is the belt that I need. I'm confident. If it's a little bit too wide, I'm going to take some scissors. I'm just going to gently trim it down. Shouldn't be any problem. So I'm going to order this belt, and let me see where it's coming from. Please don't be in China. Please don't be in China. Guess what? It's in China. I'm going to try to find another belt that's in this country, because, oh really? Pete's sakes. Sorry, I copied and pasted, and I thought I only copied and pasted one little thing, and I copied and pasted like a whole big thing. So now I know a belt that, oof, I just bumped my... Okay, I found the belt in America, and of all places, Sears. Pretty cool. Sears has this belt, the 134-S2M, and I double checked, as you see, 2 millimeter pitch, 67 tooth, 6 millimeter wide, and the package weighs only 2 grams, so it's not going to be like a giant automotive belt, which is weird because it says in the description that these are like automotive, used in automotive applications. I think that's just like a generic computer robot generated description, because it's timing. You know, I'm a mechanic and I know that cars do use timing belts, but they're not this big. So I've already added it to my cart. I'm going to go to my cart and I'm going to purchase it now, and hopefully it will come in pretty soon, probably a little bit after Christmas, because it's 3 days till Christmas, and Christmas came early for me, as you can already tell. Now that I know what I need, I'm like so excited. So I'm going to order this belt, put it on when it gets here, and I'm going to take a video and finish this video. So my camera battery died, but anyway, I've spent the last couple hours doing a little bit of work on here. I went ahead and cleaned the extruder real well. I cleaned the head real well. I re-zip tied everything back after I did. Of course, it gives me this trouble code because I forgot to do something. Whenever I turn it on, it gives me the trouble code instantly. So what I do, I'll show you a trick. If anybody has this problem, this is a good way around it to where it won't know that there's something wrong with it. I turn this manually. I know it's kind of dark because the light won't come on until it's on, but I turn this manually to lower the bed. As you can see, the bed's slowly working its way down, and I just do that so it's not in the way of the extruder. Then basically I take it and I put it in the middle setting. Now it's giving me error code 31 and it starts flashing the light inside. So what I do is I turn it on and then I let it move itself, and then I manually move it into position. This tricks the Vinci into thinking that it's working properly. Oh yeah. Filament's coming out. Ooh. This weather is super nasty. Gotta check the mail, see if my belt came in. Oh, golly. Yes. Alright, so my belt just came in. And it looks legit. So I'm going to try sticking it on here. You can see it does appear to be the same diameter as the other belt. Let's find out. And it's a hair wider. A 6mm and the other is a 5. So I could either trim it with scissors or I could just use it as is and adjust the belt tensioner. Alright, so if you look in there, if my camera will focus, right there it is, you can see the belt. The belt is on. It is 1 tooth smaller than the OEM belt, and it's also 6mm wide belt as opposed to 5. However, all the little gear wheels for the belts are 6mm, so it actually fits better than the stock belt did. So now comes the fun part. This is a moment of truth, guys. We're gonna turn it on, and we're gonna see what it does. All right. Powered on. Oh yes, no error code. It went right to the home position, with the exception that the bed plate is not in its home position. So what I'm going to do now, I am going to, hold on. Ugh. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to put the sides on and do a test print. Alright, I got the sides on, it's back together. Alright, so I made this little piece out of polycam tape and cardboard, and I did this just to kind of keep the overspray from contaminating the rest of the unit as it gets on the gear wheels and cogs and whatnot, and it'll start to mess it up. So got some more spray away. I'm gonna head down a little more. bit too low. I'm just gonna leave it be for now. We're gonna go to utilities. We're gonna go to the home axis. Plate's moving. Probably gonna take a while because I didn't have it all the way at the bottom. I definitely have too much hairspray on it, by the way. I'm gonna dabble some of that off. Do that now while bed's almost done. And it's homed out. Okay. Despite the calibration fail, I'm going to try to print a keychain. I think it's calibrated. I'm not sure. Yep. It's good. Should be 90 degrees on the platform. And about 225 on the extruder. Raises the bed a little higher than that.
There it comes.
Yeah, that bed needs to be raised up way higher. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to.
Does this look squiggly like that?
No, it's supposed to be up against the bed, so I need to raise the bed a little bit. Alright, so I fiddled around with the bed calibration. I'm going to go ahead and do keychain now. Just gotta let it get. Alright, we're at 210, well 211 on the extruder. Platform is up to temperature, 90 degrees. So we're gonna go ahead and try this keychain print one more time. I'm pretty confident at this point that I've got the calibration of the bed correct. It's close to it. Talking about. Missing it. Alright, it's almost done. Got about 9 minutes left.